Welcome to our Arrowhead Audio podcast. I'm Spencer Sidebottom.
And I'm James Salmons.
Today we're going to be talking about the new changes in Operation Chimera with Rainbow Six Siege. Lion has a drone that can go around and it can detect people through walls apparently if they move. So that's cool.
That sounds very unbalanced
and
and
it
unhealthy.
does. It really does. Plus, his gun is the best gun in the game apparently. It's a Vector with a extended barrel. And here's the fun part. Drum mag.
So, a couple, around 100 ammo per mag.
It probably. I mean, it's going to get nerfed right off the bat. You know it.
Yeah.
Even if it had only one damage, it's still one-shot headshot.
Yeah.
And with a Vector, that's basically most of your kills anyway.
Yeah.
So if you don't get the headshot, then it doesn't matter because you get the headshot.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And then the other operator, Finka, the Russian one, her gear is she has a nanobot thingy that quote unquote injects her teammates with nanobots so that later in the round, you can activate your dealio 2 times on cooldown, and it will boost their stability for their aiming and give them a little bit of a health boost, which is also really OP combined with the drone.
Yeah, I'm not
because
gonna
they're both attackers. So
oh god.
all you do is just chuck a drone in there and be like yeet, and then freaking just have Finka use that, and then everyone gets basically just
No
pinpoint aim because there's almost no recoil, and then they also get more health.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds really OP.
Yeah.
And with the new drone, you can see people through walls. So that's fun.
That's pretty balanced.
Extremely
So,
balanced.
What do you think the potential changes they could do to this to make it actually balanced and fair?
Have it so that you can only inject either yourself or a teammate with Finka, and you can do that at any point in the round. So then it's not everyone on your team.
Yeah.
Because you can do it 2 times, and it activates for everyone.
So
that's pretty OP.
How long does it last, or do we not know?
It's the same as Doc. So it's every second 1 point will go down, and it gives you 40 points, so it lasts 40 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's for.
Where it gradually depletes.
So
I don't know about the recoil, but the health will last 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's Is it? It might be as long as you have the bonus health, the stability continues.
I mean, that would make sense.
It makes sense.
I mean, if it was like that, that'd be really OP though, because then you just go in with an LMG, and then you just hold down the trigger.
Yeah.
And you don't have to aim because it's already pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah.
You just look in the general direction of people, and you're gonna hit them.
Which
Which you do with an LMG anyway, but this time
you don't have recoil.
Exactly. Because that's balanced.
And fair.
Apparently. And then the zombies. A new trailer came out for that. And that showcased Doc working on briefing Ash about the new virus. And he basically said nothing except for, it's a virus that does a ting.
Alright.
And then Ash is all thanks, Doc. You're a valuable part of this team. And then everyone else laughs because he's not.
Understandable.
Then Tachanka jumps off a truck. Is all yo, Haas, where'd you pick up that relic? And he's under a load of dead bodies, and it's the same joke every time. Woo. A bunch of that crap.
Okay, kind of lost you there a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of lost myself, but I mean, that's the point of the trailer, I think.
Alright.
And then, but basically it's just a brief where Ash is briefing Tachanka and Thermite on the new virus and whatnot.
And it talks about like the new ops a little bit by Ash showing Thermite the files, and then that's about it.
So, what do you think about them making Outbreak or the Zombies game mode a temporary game mode?
I think it's crap. You're gonna work this hard to make a campaign basically for a game that doesn't have a campaign, and then you're gonna only have it up for 4 weeks. I think that's stupid. That we don't even know if it's gonna come back out any time past that.
It most likely will, and they're probably gonna change the map as it goes, you know.
Well,
And they're probably gonna like add story to it to where it's like an event story.
It's not just one map. It's gonna be multiple maps.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's because it's a campaign.
Yeah.
Also, the alpha packs that are coming out, like the supply drops,
Yeah.
those are just kind of pointless because you have to buy them with real money instead of being able to earn them in game. Also makes me mad because if you have had the game and you load in for the first time, you start the game for the first time during the event, you'll get 4 of the new packs. But if you buy the game during the event, you get 10 packs with the purchase of the game, plus another 4 whenever you log on.
Oh. Okay.
Which is stupid because veterans like me and so many other people who have been playing since beta won't get anything extra from it.
Yeah.
And I think that's stupid. I mean, I'm going to put like $35 into it anyway, but that's because I'm a scrub.
Has there been a recent weapon change to anything?
Yeah, there was one with Ella. The operator had originally 51 bullets in her mag for her Scorpion Evo, but now she only has 41, which still is pretty overpowered because that gun has the fire rate of Vector and can hit across the map.
Yeah.
But that, and also they nerfed her hitbox a little bit, so her hitbox is a little bit larger. Not a whole lot, but a little bit larger. And they also messed with Twitch a lot. Her F2 now is basically useless. It has almost no damage and no range. And her drone got nerfed from 15 shots to 5 shots, which basically makes it pointless if you're trying to take out a bunch of gadgets and stuff. Like, if there's a bandit and a mute, you'll be able to take out both, like, all of their charges, but you'll have to use both your drones. So if there's a Capcan or a Mira, you won't be able to take out all the things like you were used to be before. What that does do is that limits the amount of damage it can inflict on players. So during round, it's a lot better since people will try not to use their drone charges on actual players unless they're bad at the game. Is then if they're bad, then they don't really, or if they're new, they don't really know, what to do with their drone. But whenever you're playing in competitive on ranked, it makes it a lot better because then people, they might go in and then see that drone and try to shoot it immediately. Well, now since you're not really going to be focusing on the players, they might not actually see your drone, so you could actually keep it alive longer. And also, on the defending side, it's a lot less annoying to have a drone constantly following you around whenever you're getting shot by actual players as well. Well, there was another change with pistols. The recoil on them was highly reduced. So now, it used to be where the recoil on the gun would kick up more, but now it kicks back, giving you a lot better aim with pistols. It also makes some of the pistols extremely OP, like the Deagle and the revolver. The Deagle, although it had the most recoil in the game, now it has it still has the most recoil for pistols, but It's a lot, better now. You can actually control it. So it makes that gun a lot more OP. You can snipe with it. And then the revolver has almost no recoil now. Plus the damage that it deals out is a little bit, insane. So I'm hoping with this next update, they'll patch the pistol recoil a bit. At least for those two guns. The other guns in the game are pretty balanced, except for Cavs, but her gun is basically her main weapon. Her pistol is. So I understand that one's as good as it is. The Outbreak event will introduce new big changes to both sides of the game, the PvP and the PvE. Mainly cosmetics, which aren't necessarily changes in gameplay, but they're pretty big changes if players just kind of want to customize. Like veterans, a lot of them play the game so much that it gets a little boring without anything new. So cosmetics will really help with that. It's also probably the biggest shake up to the game that there will be with the Outbreak event, since they've never done something like this before. It'll definitely change a lot of what people think about the game, though with it being only an event, they're not going to make as many sales with it as they would. But other than that, I'm pretty excited for it. It'll add a whole new mode with the zombies. The Outbreak event is a sole PvE, which is player versus enemy mode. You'll be going in with 3 players, yourself included, and you'll be going into the town of Truth and Consequences in New Mexico, trying to extract civilians and other operators that have been trapped inside that are surrounded by mutated beings. The origin of the virus is unknown to the players yet. We'll probably find that out once the event releases, but we will. We did see a trailer with a pod that crashed from the sky. It was supposedly an alien pod, but we don't know for sure. And that had the virus, and it mutated anything that touched it to the point of no recognition. And it put a bunch of spooky spikes on them. It was pretty funny. So it'll include 3 maps, which are a lot more open than the PvP maps, which even then are still really open, which is pretty good. There was also a leak a while ago about the objectives that are going to be in Operation Chimera. There was one which it said defend the APC and escort the APC and extract hostages. So there might be another terrorist group in the event. Probably not the White Mask, which we've seen in the other games, but there could very well be other terrorist groups. That, and we might get some new gameplay of vehicles. I highly doubt it.
Do you think it would help the game out if they made it permanent, but we kind of wouldn't do it?
I would love if they made it permanent. Even if it didn't give you anything, like any XP, it would be great, because then say you were bored and you just wanted to go have fun with your friends, you could go into the event in a custom game and just play through again. Because I've always found single player games, even if you don't get anything from it, it's still fun to just go back and play it again.
Yeah, it's replayability.
My hope is that you can go in on this new update and go in solo without a team, because that seems like a lot of fun, just to be able to challenge yourself.
Okay.
Saying that the event might be challenging. I don't know.
That brings up another topic. Do you think they'll have different difficulties for the zombies game mode?
I hope they do. They'll probably end up having one. That's what they did with Terrorist Hunt, which is the other PvE mode. And in Terrorist Hunt, you could go in solo, So trying to go in on the hardest difficulty was a pretty big challenge for a lot of people. So I'm hoping that you do.
Do you think it would be beneficial if they were to make the change to remove terrorist hunt in place of the zombies?
I would highly recommend that. I've never liked Terrorist Hunt. I've always just gone in. It was always way too easy. Even on the hardest difficulty, Terrorist Hunt was just easy. You would go in on, say, defense. You'd sit in a corner, and that was it. That would be all you do. You basically just sit in a corner and aim at a doorway, and that's it. That's nowhere near what it's like in actual multiplayer. It's actual multiplayer. People know how to play the game, or at least most people do. So you're not sitting in one spot, because if you do, then if you're going up against good players, you're basically dead. So if you move around a lot, you'll be able to survive a lot more, which is what I was wanting for a PvE game mode, something that's more mobile, which, seeing as though it did say that the maps are a lot more open, I'm expecting you to not stay in one place for too long. I mean, you might have to defend an area for an extended period of time, but after that you move on to another area. So that would be pretty great.
So in the zombies game mode, do you think it'll be more like Call of Duty zombies where you have to buy doors, or you think it'll be more of an objective-based zombies game mode where you have to like do objectives to unlock places, or will everything be open?
Like I said, it's going to be more like a campaign, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be the objective-based game mode. And I'm sure there's going to be Easter eggs in there, but it's going to be mainly just going through the story. Because, I mean, it's about extracting people from this city so that you can go, like the government can go and destroy the city so that the virus doesn't get out and spread to the whole world.
How do you think the larger Siege community will, and how do you think they will feel about the release of zombies? Because I know a couple people weren't too happy about it because Siege is supposed to be one of the most realistic games on the market right now.
Well, I think the overall Siege community would enjoy this because it doesn't mess with the actual story of the game. It's just a little side bit that would be fun to play. And I mean, I don't ever really see a problem with adding in something that's a little bit fake to a video game. I agree with people whenever they say that Siege is a really realistic game and it's supposed to be one of the most realistic on the market. But that's mainly for PvP.
Yeah.
Because in PvE with Terrorist Hunt, although yeah, you're going and you're trying to clear rooms, it's never felt as realistic as it should be compared to PvP. Now PvP, people are, since the video game, people are radical. They don't necessarily go in like normal CTUs would in real life.
Yeah.
But with the new zombies mode, it would be kind of interesting just to see how they would do it. Because what we've seen in the trailers so far is it's not something like, oh, there's zombies, let's go shoot them. It's actually like there's missions. You can go in and they're briefing everyone. There's a little bit of a backstory to it. And the fact that it's not just like, you know, zombies where people die and then come back to life. It's actually a virus that like mutates their body. They don't really die, their mind dies, but they don't, is a little bit more realistic than, you know, normal zombies like Call of Duty.